It's hard to believe that I'm sitting on a bench where the Egyptians first arrived in England. That's because I'm not.
I'm on the most scenic bus route in England to go see Whitby. The coastline goes from York through the North Yorkshire Moors Park. Ever since I first read Dracula 2 years ago, I have been incredibly consumed by the novel. It was inescapable. I did my literature exams on it, I filmed my first ever long form series on this channel, I saw its influence on pop culture everywhere, and today I'm on my way to England's small coastal town. After arriving by bus, the first view to greet you is that of the harbour. You can see the River S and the Whitby Endeavour, the only life-size replica of Captain Cook's HM bark Endeavour in the Northern Hemisphere. This 33-meter long and 9-meter wide ship replicates what the 3-year Cook voyage life would have looked like. Captain Cook is after all a local legend, and as you pass through the town, you will have plenty of opportunity to explore related sites and memorials. Just beware that everything closes early, so unfortunately I couldn't show you the museum. The last bus leaves 5:40, and if you miss it, you will be stranded. But back to the Endeavour. It also serves traditional English food, so of course I had the fish and chips, but who knew it was going to be this big of a portion? I have to make this literary reference, it's giving Moby Dick. After this filling meal, I headed to the West Pier. Whitby split into the West and the East. Notice that distinction in Dracula the novel? The difference in real life is just like in the book. The further east you go, the more unknown and unexplored it seems. The East Pier is far more old-looking, and there are not that many people. The Whitby Abbey stands quietly overlooking the entire town on the East Pier. These are the views walking the Endeavour through to the West Pier. Standing on the pier and feeling the freshness of the northern sea, it is not hard to imagine how the characters felt when they traveled to the port to intercept Dracula's ship, or how the freshness and coolness of the wind could bring mystery. There are so many quotes within Dracula about the wind, after all, which seems everywhere. As Jonathan writes, "I am rigorously accustomed to wind." After walking the pier, there are quite a few steps to see the famous whalebone arch. It's a jawbone arch that pays homage to Whitby's whaling industry in the 18th and 19th century. And when ships would come back to harbor, the victorious ships would tie a whalebone arch to show they were victorious. But as lovely as the arch is, for nerds like myself, the main side is a bit higher up.
Bram Stoker's apartment. Oh, slash residence house. He stayed here, the point is. Ta-da!
Number 6 Royal Crescent, the guest house where Stoker stayed. Actually, where Mina and Lucy stayed in the novel too. And there is the famous bench on which Stoker sat, which you saw in the intro to this vlog. It felt amazing to finally see the view that inspired Stoker through my own eyes, and it is such a gorgeous view, so do enjoy the boat race that took place. Then this gorgeous tunnel and steps down to the pier again. And we stop by the Dracula experience. This is sort of like a small horror house. The entry is just £5 and you can see some key moments from the book. Nothing particularly new if you're well familiar with it, but for a bit of fun and some Dracula themed photos, the entry fee seems reasonable. I did get scared once when I shone a torch onto a person though, so after that bit of excitement I wandered through, crossing the bridge to get to the east side, and it was like being transported back in time, almost as if we were in Santorini or some small Spanish village with its quaint houses and antique stores. I bought a lucky duck made out of the famous Whitby chet, which is, I believe, fossilized wood, and I hoped it would be good luck for the next part of the journey, the 199 steps. Those very same 199 steps which the wolf dog ran up after it came aboard the abandoned ship and then disappeared. The steps leading up to the church and the graveyard where Lucy liked to sit, and to the Whitby Cathedral. I will quote from Mina's journey while you enjoy the view. "There is another church, the parish one, round which is a big graveyard, all full of tombstones. This is to my mind the nicest spot in Whitby, for it lies right over the town, and has a full view of the harbour, and all up the bay to where the headland called Kettleness stretches out into the sea. It descends so steeply over the harbour that part of the bank has fallen away and some of the graves have been destroyed. Then, of course, there is the abbey itself. Right over the town is the ruin of Whitby Abbey, which was sacked by the Danes and which is the seen part of Marmion, where the girl was built up in the wall. It is a most noble ruin of immense size and full of beautiful and romantic bits. Whitby was of huge importance to the Anglican king of Northumberland in the 7th century and was occupied by a large Anglican community along with a monastery founded on site in 657. In the 9th century, the abbey was abandoned, likely due to the Viking threat, and the ruins visible today are the remains of the Benedictine abbey founded after the Norman conquest, rebuilt in the Gothic style in the 13th century. There's a sense of dizzying freedom up on the hill with the clouds and the view below. The abbey has long inspired creatives. Caedmon I, named English poet, lived at the Anglo-Saxon monastery. Turner, the British artist, painted the views, and in the 16th century, the headland was home to the Cholmondeley family, who began to collect fine art, furnishings, and books. The museum had lots of references to the Whitby Abbey in culture and writing on stone tablets, as well as stones found in the abbey. After looking at this view, I headed down to end my trip with the East Pier and enjoy these quiet views. Whitby's influence on Stoker is not to be underestimated, and this trip helped me match some of the book's vivid scenes to real life. Truly, for any vampire fans, this beautiful landscape is worth the literary pilgrimage and the uneasy journey to get here. Thank you for joining me on this vlog, and a special thank you to my friend Julian, who helped me film and record much of this journey.